Okay, great. So right now, let's just quickly understand the different paths that we can take right now in order just to turn this specific article right here, obviously before the editing, into several Medium articles. So the first thing that you again have to understand is that it all goes back to the mind state, right? So right now we are in a specific mind state. So we have written about a specific topic. We have written about specific ideas. So now it's time to actually expand on those ideas and on this topic. So really the time it takes you to actually, let's say, really kind of download the information and really recall the information about a specific topic in your brain, is also mentally taxing, right? So the thing is that, let's say if I'm writing something about SEO, just to get quote unquote into the SEO mindset, it takes me some time, right? So right now this is just, about writing, about, that whole content creation world. So there are specific ideas related to that. So if I'm talking about keywords in SEO, then I simply have to go back into okay, what are the different types of keywords and how do you make keyword research and how do you add keywords to or what's the best way to add keywords to your article, etc., right? But instead, when you're in the right mindset, you can actually either expand on the ideas that you just wrote about or simply try to recycle them. And some people may think, okay, recycling is bad or you can't really use this. But honestly speaking, most people won't remember what you published this week by next week, right? So what about if we actually take this and, kind of try to find a way to repurpose the same ideas, but in 1 month, right? And simply, keeping this as a buffer that we can use when things go wrong or where you just want to take a break, right? Because let's say you are having a publishing schedule, may it be a weekly, a daily, whatsoever, doesn't mean that you actually can take time off. Like you have to take some time off in order just to, you're not doing this to be chained to your computer, right? So this is why it's really important to understand that there is absolutely no harm in, just working smarter. So let me just show you if I go. So let me just go back here quickly and show you what I have here on my Medium account. So if you look at this, so there are 2 articles, or I guess 2 or 3 that I wrote about SEO. So as you can see, the 3 simple SEO principle I use to attract 5,500 visitors every month to my blog on autopilot. And if I go here into my drafts, I have the 5 mistakes to avoid if you want to rank your blog on Google's first page, right? Do I have something else about SEO or? Yeah, I have something else, but it's not directly related. So the thing is that I've done this with ChatGPT where I've written several articles around it. This was at a time where I wasn't actually, where I was just throwing rocks at ChatGPT. So it was I think it was this one, the content iceberg, and another one which for product Ponzi content engine. Yeah, content creation in the age of artificial intelligence. And there was a third one, I think. If you think ChatGPT will make content creation easier, you're that wrong. Those articles, I wrote them all, at the same time. The thing is that I just scheduled them out on, I didn't publish them, at the same time. So if you look at the ChatGPT one right here, 1st of February, and the last one I think went out on March 30, so almost 2 months. So this is how you want to approach it. So if I go back right now to my article right here, so how can we add different spins to that? So obviously, as for everything, you could probably also use ChatGPT or AI tools to find new ideas, but I've actually brainstormed some kind of ideas that we could use. So if I take my article right here, I'm just, let's just make it kind of a draft right here. So here we have our structure, right? So this is like actually my original title, right? So making money writing is online is damn hard. These 4 things will make it easier. What can we like? Let's just first tweak the headline. So tweaking the headline. So making money writing is damn hard. These 4 things will make it easier. So this is the article we wrote together, right? So another thing that we could do is, let's say 5 things I wished I knew earlier before making money with my writing. Something like this, right? Perhaps also, let's say most online writers are broke. Here are 4 things to implement to not be one of them. Perhaps also you won't make a dime with your writing unless you apply these 4 money making principles or rules, right? The secret to make money with your writing goes back to these, let's say 4 dead stupid rules nobody wants to hear. What else could we call? Most writers are broke because they ignore these 4 stupid simple things. Or successful and broke writers both write, but here are what successful writers do differently. Turning your roads into cash. Here are the 4 simple rules you need to follow. Something like this. Like we have right now enough titles right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 titles. So we could actually come up with 7 different articles around that. So the obviously, like if you really want to tweak things, you could change a number, perhaps subtracting 3, or perhaps stretching yourself a little bit more and come up with 5 things or 7 things or 8 things, right? So when it comes to this article right here, I could right now inject some personal stories. So let's say how I found or how I discovered those specific rules, right? Injecting more personality. And then what we're also going to do is not only tweaking the headline, so this is the first thing, and then let's say tweaking the numbers, right? So 3, let's say instead of 4, or 5 instead of 6. And what we then can do also is actually tweaking the order of the sections within the article. So if I take a look right here that, well, it's all about having a product, then I can move that up, right? On the other hand, what I can do right now is I can actually take those different sections, right? And, let's say expand on each section. So as an example right here, I could take, 3 reasons why you need to start with a safety cushion if you want to become a successful writer. How to create a product as a writer. 3 different strategies you can focus that will earn you more than a book. Entertain. 3 hacks you can use to become more entertaining with your content. And don't be boring, or how to not be boring with your content, something like this, right? And then you can expand on this while keeping the right mind state. And this is actually a very interesting way because it allows you to simply expand, write something new, right? That you can then use to actually fuel back the other different things or the other different articles on the same that will tackle the same topic as the initial one. So as you can see, if it's, let's say, 5 things I wished I knew earlier before making money with my writing, I could easily, let's say, implement the same idea when it comes to about, let's say, the 3 different ways to create a product. I can then, let's say, okay, you have 3 ways. Let's say 1 is create an email course, number 2 is create a coaching program, or number 3, it's creating an online course, right? So those are, let's say, the 3 things that you could do. I'm just saying this at the top from my head. Like, I'm not really thinking about what I'm, like, if the examples are accurate or not. It's just, something to think about. And then, let's say, when you're repurposing what you wrote in the article that talks about different types of products, you can then incorporate that with your new within the second article right here, right? So the 5 things I wished I knew, or I wish I knew. Anyways, this goes into the polished stage. So the thing is that you can then incorporate what you wrote in other articles to actually create a new spin on the articles that you're going to write after that. So this is actually like one of the many ways that you can do to really speed up your writing process. It's really taking advantage of your actual mind state instead of having to reboot and re-download everything again into your conscious brain. So yeah, so this is actually when it comes to theory, and then we're going to see like how to apply this and put this into practice in the next lesson.